My name's Anja Popp, I work for Channel 4 News and I'm nominated for Young Talent of the Year. I chose journalism because I'm interested, well, my mum calls me nosy, but I don't think I am nosy. I think I'm just interested in people, and I always just think that everyone's got a story to tell, haven't they? It still humbles me, you know, the people that open their doors to you and tell you, you know, maybe somebody's just died or they've just gone through the worst experience of their life and yet they're still willing to speak to you about it. I think as a younger journalist there's always this kind of, sometimes you feel like you have to be like your older colleagues who have obviously got years and years of experience and, you know, more knowledge than you in lots of areas, but actually I think that there's something that younger journalists can offer that perhaps older journalists can't. You know, just speaking to your friends you kind of realise stories that perhaps you haven't heard of, and I think as a younger person, I don't feel that young anymore, but as a younger person you have access to stories that other people in the newsroom won't have access to, and it's about kind of using that, I guess. The trans story that I did, the trans teenagers, I was just basically aware that there was this big conversation going on with the adults about trans rights and trans women and female-only spaces, and it was getting really quite nasty. And I felt like there was a voice that was being missed in that, which was a young trans person who's just kind of starting to understand their gender identity and going through that sort of massive change.
I think the hardest part is the self-acceptance. I'd say that's the hardest part, being transgender, self-acceptance. Because all I want to be is just born a boy. I have to go through a whole process just to become who I am.
I think if you're asking somebody to open up to you about some of the worst experiences in their life, or even good experiences, you've got a responsibility to tell that accurately and fairly. And it's hard though, because news is short. You know, you can spend 4 hours at someone's house, and I always have to explain, you know, we're doing a lot, but obviously it won't be that much. And I've done quite a few stories with people with mental health issues as well, which is obviously, you have to be extra cautious and to make sure that you don't trigger them or make them feel worse. But it is a responsibility, but it's not one I take lightly.